Welcome to CBD American Shaman of Twin Creeks and Allen, Texas. Come by and visit our local store and get your questions answered and get a free sample of the highest quality CBD and Delta 8 products.
In today's video, we are going to be talking about Delta 8 THC, specifically hemp-derived Delta 8 THC. Is it really legal? Does it really get you medicated? What's the difference between Delta 8 and Delta 9? I'm going to tell you everything I think that you should know about Delta 8 in this video. I am sure by now you have heard of Delta 8. Over the last 6 months or so, I've seen it everywhere all over the internet. And to be honest, I've been extremely skeptical. I have a lot of history with hemp products, and while I do love full spectrum CBD oils and full spectrum hemp products, there is a lot of snake oil salesmen out there when it comes to CBD. Not all CBD and hemp products are created equal, and even the really good hemp products that I found, and there are quite a few, while some do a very good job of relaxing you and relieving stress and anxiety, none of them get you stoned. None of them get you any kind of inebriation. There is no intoxicating effect with any hemp product that I've ever tried. That is until now. I finally broke down and tried some Delta 8 THC, hemp-derived Delta 8 THC. And my experience was very surprising. As a matter of fact, the first time I tried these, so these are 25 milligrams a piece, right? I was so skeptical about getting stoned off of a hemp product that I took 3 of them. My normal dose from Delta 9 THC is about 20 milligrams. That is personally where I like to be. I took 75 milligrams of Delta 8, and boy howdy, ooh, there is not a whole lot of difference between these gummies and the gummies that you would get at a dispensary. There's a few differences, and we're going to talk about it. So I was talking to the manager of Cassville Dispensary a while back, Charlie, who is quickly becoming one of my favorite people. Now, she knows that I suffer from an anxiety disorder. And because of that, I'm a big fan of edibles, gummies. They are longer lasting. I don't have to medicate every 30 to 45 minutes to keep my anxiety in check. I can take 1 dose now and go off to the depths of Walmart, which if you have an anxiety disorder, going to Walmart is insane. If you don't have an anxiety disorder, going to Walmart is probably almost equally as insane. So I'm a huge fan of gummies. But she had suggested that I try Delta 8 because gummies are kind of expensive. And I'm not always a big fan of being so medicated that you can't function. Sometimes that's fun. I enjoy it occasionally. But most of the time, I need to find some kind of relief to keep my anxiety and my panic in check so that I can go out into the world and function as a normal human being. So what is Delta 8 THC? Well, it is not much different than Delta 9 THC, which you should already be accustomed to if you consume cannabis or are a medical marijuana patient. Delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol is the molecular compound that gives us the intoxicating effect when we consume cannabis, right? So when we smoke or vape it, it gives us that intoxicating effect. When we eat it in an edible or consume it, our liver turns that Delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol into 11-hydroxy tetrahydrocannabinol, which is a complete different compound of itself, which gives us a more inebriating effect. It lasts longer when you take an edible. It's a little bit stronger. It doesn't take as much to get you where you need to be. So there are already different types of THC that you should be aware of. Delta 8 is another one. Now, Delta 8 is naturally occurring. It naturally occurs in cannabis, and it is derived from hemp. Hemp is just a legal definition for marijuana that has less than 0.3% THC in it. So all of the Delta 8 on the shelves that are being sold in stores is hemp derived. It comes from plants with low Delta 9 THC and actually low Delta 8 THC. Delta 8 doesn't really grow in abundance in any plant, whether it be hemp or marijuana. They actually extract it by isolating and extracting CBD. And once that CBD is isolated, they use a process that includes acids. They actually convert that cannabidiol into Delta 8 THC. So it comes out CBD, then they turn it into Delta 8 THC, and then put it back into products. So they cook it into edibles, or they put it into a mixture and spray it onto hemp flower, or turn it into a distillate into a concentrate like Delta 8 dabs or Delta 8 vape carts. And because they derive it from actual hemp, legally grown hemp, and because Delta 8 is not Delta 9, it's being sold all across the country. But how legal is it actually? Is it going to stay legal? What if you want to sell Delta 8 gummies? Should you be concerned? If you possess Delta 8 gummies and you're not a medical marijuana patient, should you be concerned? Well, to give you a little bit more information on the legality of Delta 8, here is Matt Gunther with the American Cannabinoid Association.
Congress is the lawmaking body with constitutional authority to write laws and pass bills. So the 2018 Farm Bill, which was crafted by Congress and signed into law by the president, clearly establishes legislative intent that specifically protects hemp as currently defined. Now, this protects the plant cannabis sativa L and any part of the plant, including the seeds, derivatives, extracts, cannabinoids, isomers, acids, salts of isomers, whether growing or not, as long as it's below 0.3% delta-9 THC on a dry weight basis. This is important because regulatory agencies do not have the constitutional authority necessary to change this law. Until Congress passes an amendment or updates the language of the Farm Bill in 2022, this federal definition of hemp that protects delta-8 THC and other emerging cannabinoids remains the law of the land. Secondly, the language of the interim final rule doesn't target delta-8 THC. Instead, it references synthetically derived tetrahydrocannabinols. Now, while delta-8 THC is structurally considered a tetrahydrocannabinol, the language of the Farm Bill specifies that its congressional protections supersede the classifications found in the Controlled Substance Act. Furthermore, delta-8 THC isn't usually synthetically derived. Now, while it can be chemically synthesized from non-hemp derived precursors, it is generally derived from hemp via the isolation of CBD. Again, not only is delta-8 naturally occurring in the plant, it is also derived from the hemp plant. Both of these characteristics make the compound federally compliant under the 2018 Farm Bill.
You can expect Delta 8 products to remain legal till at least 2022. Now, will the federal government change the Farm Act? That remains to be seen. That's if we don't see federal legalization of marijuana between now and then, which is still kind of What about urine tests? What if you work a job where you're kind of afraid to become a medical marijuana patient because you don't want to fail a urine test, or maybe you're on probation and parole and you think, well, I'm going to take some of these Delta 8 hemp gummies. That way I don't fail on that urine test when my PO pops me. Are you going to drop hot? The answer is yes. You are probably going to drop hot. You are going to fail a urinalysis test if you are taking these gummies. Because even though it's Delta 8 THC going in, once your body metabolizes that Delta 8, once your body metabolizes THC in general, it all comes out the same. Most panel tests are testing for THC metabolites. So Delta 8, Delta 9, doesn't matter what's going in, it's all coming out the same. So if this is something you're using to get by on that account, you might want to rethink your strategy. People say that it is the same high without the paranoia or anxiety that some people get from taking edibles or overdoing it when they take edibles. It does seem to be a less intense experience. So if you are a new patient that wants to try edibles, maybe you have a medical marijuana card, but you haven't tried any of the brands that are out there yet. So if you're worried about having an experience like that, Delta 8 is a good intro into it. For me personally, I started taking Delta 8 because I can't afford dispensary prices all the time. I just can't. Most people probably can't either. Delta 8 is about half the price of Delta 9 THC. It's actually a little bit less. So if you are looking for a good intro into edibles, Delta 8 is a good place to start, in my opinion. Or if you're like me and just can't afford to hit the dispensary all the time, Delta 8 really gets me through in between those dispensary runs or caregiver drops. Delta 8 is a good replacement. Or if edibles tend to give you over anxiety or panic attacks like they do some people, then Delta 8 might be something that you want to look into for that. Because it is less intense. I feel less anxiety, less paranoia, all of that they use to advertise Delta 8, I truly experienced, just at a less potency than you normally would feel. So just to recap, Delta 8 is hemp-derived THC. It is made from converting CBD into Delta 8 THC. It is 100% legal for now. It will make you drop on a urine test. So if you're on probation, parole, or you're in a job where that's a problem, I wouldn't recommend using this or any other cannabis products, but they do work and they do work as described. As always, this is a subjective opinion. This is my personal experience. So let me know in the comments, have you tried Delta 8 products? What did you think about it? I am becoming a huge fan. And with the current price of edibles at the dispensaries, these may be my new go-to for quite some time.
Thanks for watching our video. If you liked it, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And please come by and visit our local store. With over 200 5-star reviews on Google, we would love to help you also by answering your questions and helping you find the perfect CBD or Delta 8 products for your situation. And we'll give you a free sample. So we hope to see you soon.